So I passed a rather interesting milestone in our family yesterday. I delivered two of my young adult sons to college. What a ride. It's such an odd time in the world right now to think about. Sending your kids off to college for the first time is already enough of a strange experience, an emotional experience, life-changing and family-changing experience. And then to do it in the middle of a pandemic world where things are still in lockdown and there are still questions about the safety of gathering people together in buildings and having in-person classes. Yeah. There's a lot to think about yesterday. So, for those of you that don't know me very well, I am a father of 6. 3 of them are now adults. And 2 of them went off to college together in upstate New York. We were fortunate enough they landed at the same school and they landed in the same dorm room, so there's at least some level of comfort there. But nonetheless, there's still a lot of anxiety and worry and a lot of different things to consider. Not just the fact of being a parent and hoping they're going to be okay and trying to do everything I possibly could to set them up for success before I leave them there on their own and drive away and drive 2 hours back home to my life and our life, and now a house with 2 less people in it. I don't know where you are, and I don't know what your experience is, but I would love to hear about it. If you have sent a child off to college, I would love to hear in the comments what that experience was like for you, and how your family adjusted after the fact. I've still got 3 young ones at home, 2 teenagers and a preteen, in addition to my young adult who's with us. And they're making their way through middle school and high school, and I know that at some point they'll all have moved on, and it will just be my wife and myself in this big empty house. I did not get emotional, surprisingly. I think I stayed very pragmatic through the whole thing, and realizing that yes, this is a rite of passage, and this is a thing that happens with families every day all over the world. And it wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. Talking to my wife on the way home, I was trying to actually understand why this was not such an emotional moment for me. And I think it boils down to my perspective on it is that they haven't left home. I think there's a natural tendency to look at it and say, yeah, they don't live here anymore, they're off at college. I don't see it that way. I've said forever, since our kids were little, since there weren't 6 of them here, that this will always be their home, that they will always live here in one way or another, and that door will never be locked to them. They're not strangers in this place anymore. This is not mom and dad's house. This is still our family's house. And I look at that, and my wife made a comment that for a lot of people it's like, okay, you're visitors here now, and I can't wrap my head around that. I don't envision it that way. There may not always be exactly a bedroom and a bed for them in that traditional sense, like, okay, yeah, you've given up your space, but I'm not immediately rearranging the whole house and building a man cave or a walk-in closet out of anybody's room. The oldest of our children is still home with us, and he's happy to have some additional space. He has certainly taken control of one of his brother's bedrooms next to his, but he knows that when they come home on Thanksgiving and when they come home for Christmas, and if they come home for spring break, that he's going to have to give that room up and make space for a week or a weekend. And yet it's all comfortable, I don't know. I think that I'm still trying to process everything, the experience. There was this weird moment of I'm supposed to be sad. I'm supposed to be hitching up and holding back tears, and all I could really muster was a sense of pride, a sense of, okay, this is that first cognitive leap on their part. This is the first step forward by them into their coming adult lives, and all I could be was proud. But they're learning, and they're growing, and they're doing their thing, and all I can do is be ready in the wings to either watch them succeed or try to do whatever I can to catch them should they fall. Yeah, it's a lot to think about. Thanks for listening.